What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. So you see the title and the thumbnail. Donovan Mitchell is officially a Cleveland Cavalier. Now, this trade did go down a few days ago, as I'm sure many of you know, and you can probably tell now. The setup is a little bit different. I've officially moved into my new apartment, and I had to take a while to get everything set up. So hopefully everything is fine in today's video, but we are kicking off the first one in this new setup with an absolute banger. Now, I'm sure you've all seen tons of other rebuilders do this video already. If I could have done it the day it went down, I would have. I'll read you the full trade details, even though I'm sure all of you most likely know it. The Cavaliers sent forward Lauri Markkanen, rookie wing Ochai Agbaji, guard Colin Sexton, 3 unprotected first-round picks in 2025, 2027, and 2029, and 2 pick swaps in 2026 and 2028 for guard Donovan Mitchell. Now, that is absolutely a huge trade package, and it's obviously one that made Danny Ainge happy enough for them to do it. I think he obviously is looking at those draft picks. Probably not going to be the exact same situation when he made that huge trade with the Nets so many years back when he was with the Celtics, but my God, that is a huge haul. We're just going to do a normal 3-year rebuild today with the new look Cavaliers. Of course, I will be doing the Utah Jazz side of this very soon. I've done some hypothetical Donovan Mitchell rebuilds before. None of them sent him to the Cavs, so this is pretty new territory for me as well, as I'm sure it is for you guys. But real quick, I'm sorry, this is probably going to be a somewhat long intro just because we are, here. I got a couple things to go over, a couple housekeeping things. One, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, we greatly appreciate it. We are almost in 2K23 territory, and I am so excited to finally get there with you guys. Second being that, yeah, you can comment videos if you want to see them, but what I really want to know right now, because we only have probably 2 or 3 videos left before we do get into 2K23, so what videos do you guys want to see? I'm obviously going to do the Utah Jazz side of this. I always end every single year with a fantasy draft rebuild, and then I also want to hear from you guys and let me know what first rebuild do you want to see in 2K23. I'd be excited to hear from you guys down below in the comment section as always. And let me know if you guys want to see 2 or 3 other videos before 2K23 finally does get here. But my apologies once again, it took me so long to get back into this setup. If anything is wrong that you guys can notice, please let me know down below in the comment section as well. But without further ado, I've put the trade through. This is going to be a fun one. I'll give you my thoughts on the Cavs once we hop in. Let's do that right now. So my initial thoughts on this trade, when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. Like, Woj just tweeted out Donovan Mitchell has been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, the way he tweets almost makes me feel like it's just like a random old free agent signing somewhere. But, like, this was a massive trade that definitely shapes the landscape of the NBA, specifically the Eastern Conference. So let's go over this team right now. And it is a very good, a very young, and a very deep team. And I think what the best thing about this trade did for the Cavs, obviously, they were kind of set up to be good in the future with the way the roster was constructed, but I think this kind of gives them a shot to be really good now and really good in the future. So they kind of have to be. They don't really have a ton of draft picks coming up, so they really have to kind of get this thing right. But let's go over into this roster. Darius Garland, one of the more underrated players in the league, in my opinion. I think he's going to be really good for a long, long time coming. Ricky Rubio came back to this team on a 3-year deal. His contract's not updated. I just signed him. I'll get him back. I'll re-update his contract. Satoransky's just auto-generated free agent signing. You can ignore that. The man of the hour, Mr. Donovan Mitchell, officially a Cleveland Cavalier, and I am super excited to have him here today, as he's probably going to be one of the guys to hopefully carry us to the promised land. This new backcourt, albeit it is a really short one, is going to be a really scary thing in the Eastern Conference. And now, as I mentioned earlier, the whole set him up for success now and in the future, I think success is probably something that we gotta realistically measure. Is this team a championship contender right now? I don't know about that. I think they could definitely make a push, but once it comes to the playoffs and a little bit of inexperience, I think that's maybe where they're kind of going to run into some problems. But other than that, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, this team is going to be a huge, huge problem. So really good job by Cleveland's front office. You got Karis LeVert here, going to be backing up Donovan Mitchell. Isaac Okoro going to hop into that starting small forward role spot now. I think that's probably where he'll end up. I know some people were saying LeVert could end up there. I could see it go both ways. Obviously, if you're going to go kind of youth movement, you probably want the 21-year-old kid to go ahead and start, see how well he can develop. You got Cedi Osman here at the backup small forward spot. Evan Mobley, obviously absolute stud, one of the best rookies from last year's draft class, going to be here now for the entire video, 100%. Kevin Love, the old man backing up Mobley, 34 years old, NBA champion. Kind of the one really solid veteran on this team. I mean, there are a couple other veterans. You can probably call LeVert a veteran at this point. You got Robin Lopez here at the backup center spot, backing up Jared Allen. But the depth on this team is absolutely crazy. And I would say the Cavs are probably a top 4 or 5 team in the East 100% now. I think they were probably around that 5, 6, 7 range. prior to this, but this Donovan Mitchell trade kind of puts them over the edge for me. I don't think they're better than the Celtics or the Bucks. You can probably not the Heat, probably 76ers is debatable, but you can get in. Let me know where you guys currently rank the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference, the way it kind of is right now, because that was kind of the last shoe we were waiting to drop. I mean, I don't really see any other big trades happening this offseason, so this is the team. It's an insanely talented team. Now we got to see how it works, how these guys all play together. But I think they're set up really well. But we're here now. We're obviously not making any trades before the start of year one. So we are going to go ahead and set the rotation. I'll see you guys with it. I've set up the rotation the way I think it is going to work best. This starting five, arguably blow for blow, is one of the best backcourts in the NBA. Also one of the best front courts. Now, I know that there's some really young players in this lineup. I just really like the potential of this team. And I don't think I'm crazy for saying this team could, I think their ceiling would be making an Eastern Conference Finals. And obviously a lot of things are going to have to go right for that to happen. But that's their ceiling. I think more realistically, they probably get to the second round, then get bounced. But like this team is absolutely nuts. It's Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, as you saw. Really no surprises there. You got Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen in one of the best front courts in the entirety of the NBA. Bench unit's actually really strong as well. I'm giving Caris LeVert that six-man spot just because I hate to use the term weak, but our lowest overall in our starting lineup is Isaac Okoro. I want to go ahead and kind of maximize the guy who can play both the 2 and the 3 here with Caris LeVert. Technically, he's backing up Donovan Mitchell, but you get my point. Kevin Love here, the OG, the veteran, will be coming off the bench backing up Evan Mobley. Then you got Ricky Rubio, Chetty Osman, and Robin Lopez. So really good collection of veteran players on the bench, really good collection of young pieces in this starting lineup, and I'm really excited to see how the 2K actually thinks this team is going to go. I think it wouldn't be crazy here in 2K anyways for us to be a top 3 seed. Let's see if that can happen. I'll see you guys at the end of year one. I'm sure nobody's surprised, but Luka Doncic won an MVP award here at the end of year one. We are also the 1 seed here in the East. No, I don't think Cleveland will actually be a 1 seed in real life. 2K and the high overalls on this team kind of just translated to that 1 seed. Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year, really does suck. He's out in real life. Really wanted to see him play his rookie year. Simmons, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis, Depoy. Colin Sexton, most improved over there in Utah. Just interesting to see. Obviously, it looks, obviously Donovan Mitchell's there now, but, before that, I didn't really understand why Cleveland kind of wanted to give up on Sexton, if you know what I'm saying. There was obviously a whole lot of sign and trade rumors with him. I know the Mavericks were tied to him at one point. I know the Wizards were tied to him at one point. I don't know. Maybe they just thought they couldn't win with him in the backcourt next to Garland, but interesting decision nonetheless. JB Bickerstaff, our head coach of the year. We go 59-23. As I mentioned, we were the 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference, and we're going to be facing a play-in team. So, excuse me, 7 games ahead of the Brooklyn Nets. You got the Sixers in there, the Celtics, the Hawks. It's a very good Eastern Conference. I saw a couple tweets and maybe a couple articles saying for the first time in a long time, you can really make a strong case that the East may be better than the West. And I think a lot of people might have been saying that even before the Mitchell trade. I think this definitely helps their case. It's just interesting and kind of crazy to see how the power shifted, really. It's kind of crazy because you think of the West, there's just always so many good teams. Now the East kind of on the rise a little bit. Back to this, Donovan Mitchell leads us in scoring. He's 25 points a game, 3.5 boards, 5 assists per game, shot almost 53% from the field. Absolutely insane. Garland just under 20 points, LeVert around 15 off the bench, really solid. Probably has made a case for 6th Man of the Year. Allen, Mobley, both doing their thing. They're both averaging double-doubles, very impressive. Kevin Love, Isaac Okoro, Ricky Rubio, Chetty Osman, Robin Lopez. I didn't realize we had Diop down there as well. Jared Allen led us in boards and assists was Darius Garland. All right, it's time for the playoffs. Let's see who we got. It's going to be the Indiana Pacers actually sneaking into the playoffs. Probably not a team in real life who's going to be in the playoffs, but it's definitely, it'll be interesting. Miles Turner is also a guy that could get traded. I don't think he quite shifts, as much weight as I would say a guy like Donovan Mitchell does in the hypothetical NBA trade world, but it would still be a really big piece. I know he's obviously linked to a team like the Lakers. The Pacers and the Lakers definitely could make something work here. But yeah, it's very interesting to see what is going to happen with that because I think the Lakers definitely need to make a move. And Miles Turner would obviously be a really big get for them. We're up 3-1 here in the first round against the Pacers. We do win in 5. Here comes the Atlanta Hawks, a battle of two really young teams. I keep forgetting to change Trae Young's position. I got to change either him or Murray to the shooting guard spot, so they'll both start. I also don't really know how Trae Young didn't win 6th Man of the Year. Interesting. We're 2-2 with them. We lost the first 2 on our home floor. Then we won 2 on their home floor. We go up 3-2, so we finally get a win at home. We're going to a Game 7 to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we get there. We get there, and we're facing the Philadelphia 76ers. The battle in the West is an interesting one. It's Denver and Sacramento. Denver's not that crazy, but Sacramento that's pretty bonkers. And they swept the Warriors. They beat the Grizzlies in 6. We got to worry about the Sixers, though. They got Harden, Maxey, Batum, Harris, Embiid, DeAnthony Melton, Matisse Thybulle, Hassan Whiteside, Korkmaz. Very good team right there. Obviously, a lot of veterans, a lot of experience. Kind of youth movement versus the OGs, and we get swept in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I said earlier that the Cavs, potentially maybe could be the ceiling rather, would maybe be an Eastern Conference Finals loss. The 76ers go on to win the finals. Joel Embiid finally gets out of the second round. I had to give him a little something as a Celtics fan. And he well deserves that finals MVP with that stat line right there. So, first season, it was a success. I wouldn't like to get swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, but it was a good season nonetheless. So, let's head into our first of 2 off seasons here with this team. We will hit the draft lottery. We obviously do not have pretty much any single pick. Also, I had to trade a bunch of different picks just because I didn't have access to the 2028, 2029, all those picks that were so much later down the line. So we actually legitimately should not have any first-round picks in this entire video. The Thunder are currently projected 4 lottery picks. That's insane. The Jazz, well, they sucked. I mean, was anybody shocked by that? Looks like they tanked for Victor Wembanyama, and it looks like they're going to get him. Sometimes the team, whoever is, ends up with the number 1 overall pick. They do draft Scoot Henderson, but not a bad pick either. JB Bickerstaff just won Coach of the Year. I'm not going to fire him, Toronto Raptors, after winning Coach of the Year, but I'm very comfortable with him as my head coach. We do have our second round pick here. It's number 20. I'll draft somebody. We'll do what we always do. We'll draft whoever has the best name because these second round picks typically don't come into play at least this late into the second round. Who has a good name? I don't even think these are real people at this point. Money, well, that's definitely a real person. He kind of fell off, but I mean, it might not be the coolest name, but it's definitely once upon a time a highly rated prospect. And honestly, I'll sign him. You never really know. All right, so I'm going to bring everybody back just because we're kind of at the point right now where we're not going to have a ton of flexibility with cap space. And so if I want to go ahead and make some trades or whatever it may be, I think it's probably the time to kind of do it right now. Bring everybody back just so we have that flexibility. All right, we got Darius Garland here. He obviously is going to be requiring a lot of money, and I'm going to be paying him it. While the Jazz are looking to steal him from us, not exactly what I was hoping for. We're going to pay LeVert, really good contract right there. Kevin Love wants relatively similar. That's fine with me. I'd rather wait on Garland, just because I want to give him an actual contract. Obviously, he'll get his qualifying if he is here and does get one of these deals. So I'm going to wait and just not accept this right now. Whereas Garland, do not renounce. That would have been bad. So I'll just keep doing this with Darius Garland. I hate that this is kind of a thing in 2K. Like, it comes into my favor sometimes whenever I want to get a guy back for cheap if I'm entering like a final year. But like in other times like this, it's just annoying to have to deal with. It really is. So, I hope eventually maybe in 2K23 they change this and we can actually just sign guys like max contracts during moratorium, but we will see. Let's take a look at this team right now. Obviously, the core of it's really not going to change. There's a ton of talent on this team. And I think we're in a good spot to kind of hopefully go ahead and contend again next year. We do need to find a new backup center. Robin Lopez was definitely kind of getting up there in age. So let's see some of the options we have. Hassan Whiteside, Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk would be a different type of center, or a different type of like backup center. Obviously, Jared Allen is not a guy that really stretches the floor at all. So maybe a guy like Kelly Olynyk wouldn't be too bad. He also got Hernan Gomez here. Could bring in Brook Lopez, Robin's brother. So there's definitely some options, all of which are relatively on the older side. I'm thinking Kelly Olynyk might be my guy. 1 year minimum contract. He's probably going to go down a couple overalls, but can definitely spread the floor, be a little bit of a different type of center, and a guy that could be interesting to run in some different units and stuff like that. So that's going to be kind of the one major trade we make. I don't really want to mess up the core of this team too much. Sorry, I just hit my desk. I think there's eventually, maybe if we don't win a championship this year, I think there's probably going to have to be a decently big trade or two that we make. But as of now, I'm very comfortable with this team, and I think we should be probably at the top of the East again. I'll see you guys in the rotation at the start of year 2. Almost nothing changes in this entire rotation. The starting 5 is exactly the same. The one change is going to be our backup center. We swap out Robin Lopez with Kelly Olynyk. And we're kind of banking on progression here. So let's see what happens. It's Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. Really talented starting 5. These guys continue to go up in overalls, and I'm super excited about that. The bench unit, Karis LeVert, Kevin Love, Chetty Osman, Ricky Rubio, and Kelly Olynyk. I think this team should have no problem being close to the top of the East again. And hopefully this time it results in a championship. I'll see you guys at the end of the second season. It is another MVP for Luka Doncic. Again, I'm sure absolutely nobody is surprised, but it is here and it has happened again. We are the 1 seed once again in the East, which is much more important and something I definitely care about a lot more. You know, we're going to override this, and I'm going to give it to my boy Jason Tatum here of the Boston Celtics. Victor Wembanyama does get picked first overall by the Utah Jazz. Has an absolutely insane, oh, there goes my phone, absolutely insane rookie campaign with them. You know, he's a monster. He's a generational prospect. I keep seeing like film of him on Twitter, and God damn, this dude is absolutely insane. So I cannot wait to watch him in the league. Simmons, 6th man of the year once again. Congrats, Brickleberry. Giannis wins DPOY. Cam Thomas, most improved. JB Bickerstaff, 69 and 13. Fucking nice. That's absolutely awesome. I will take that as a record. That's great. I cannot believe this team is 1 win away from 70, but I will take it. 15 games ahead of the Brooklyn Nets, who were the 2 seed, I believe, last year as well. Oh boy, here come the Pelicans. I can't believe the Kings were in the Western Conference Finals last year. Our backcourt continues to do it all. Mitchell and Garland are an absolutely insane backcourt. Garland averages a double-double, 23.5 points, 10 boards, just under 3 rebounds per game. Allen and Mobley continue to be really good in the front court. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, this team is really, really talented, and I'm kind of hoping this can be the year that we kind of get over the hump. I say that like it's been like a long journey here with this core, and hopefully can win a championship. So let's see what we got in round 1. It's going to be the Bucks. You're a playing team? Why? I feel like, you know, I kind of see this a lot. The Bucks somehow always end up like kind of sucking in these videos. And I really don't know why that is, because like without a doubt they have the best player in the league in my opinion. They're obviously super talented. I just don't get it. I really don't. Wow, the Pelicans lost. The Pelicans lost in round 1 to the Denver Nuggets, who were in the NBA Finals last year, I believe. That's insane. The Atlanta Hawks, once again, they finally find a way to get these 2 studs in the same backcourt. Obviously, it's a battle of 2 really good backcourts, 2 really good front courts. And I would say our front court's probably better. I'd say their backcourt is, I'd probably give their backcourt the nod a little bit. I think Trae Young kind of puts them over the edge a little bit. But that's not to say our backcourt's not good, because we definitely are. We're going to game 6 right now, and we close them out and taking on my Boston Celtics. I hope it like doesn't hurt or doesn't affect anything like when I gave Jason Tatum the MVP award. I wouldn't imagine it does. Maybe somewhere in the 2K script that it screws something up, but hopefully not, because the Celtics are a very good, very deep team just like us. They definitely have the best player in the series. We are up 3-1 though. We're on to the finals. And we got the Timberwolves, another team that made a lot of fun trades this past offseason. Their backcourt kind of stinks. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Looks like they moved on from D'Angelo Russell, but Ant, Gobert, Towns, obviously a really talented big 3 right there. And it's going to be a battle here in the NBA Finals. We go up 1-0. We go up 2-0. 2-1. All right. 3-1. Can we close them out in 5? That'd be beautiful. We close them out in 5. Donovan Mitchell gets that Finals MVP. I am super excited to have him here, and it looks like he's enjoying it as well. Wow. That's an absolutely insane 5 games for Don, and we win a championship in year 2. So we're obviously not going to stop now. We're going to go into one more offseason, one more season. We want to go back to back here, because why wouldn't we? We'll hit the draft lottery, even though we obviously don't have any picks in it. The Thunder end up with the number 1 overall pick via the Los Angeles Clippers. The Warriors are surprisingly bad. I don't really know about that one. JB Bickerstaff definitely not going anywhere. I'd like to bring him back. Hopefully I can find him. Oh, boy. I hate how long it takes to find coaches in this game. It just makes absolutely no sense. Why would my old head coach not be at the top of the list? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that would just make the most sense probably. Let's look at some picks. We have none. We're not going to be drafting anybody anyways. Team player options. I'll bring back Mobley, Imani Bates. I don't know. Bench piece. Isaac Okoro needs that qualifying offer. Isaiah Mobley probably not. Unfortunately, this is probably not going to be a rebuild where a ton changes. Just because we're kind of in the 2K system, if you will, right now, where everything kind of works. So I'm just going to pay Okoro. He's going to get that qualifying offer. I'll also pay Chetty Osman. I will definitely at least switch something up on the bench. We obviously are definitely in the market now for a new backup center, because Kelly Olynyk only signed a 1-year deal with us. But on top of that, I think I'll probably make another trade as well, just because it's kind of boring leaving the team exactly the same way for multiple years in a row. I'll bring in Cody Zeller as a backup centerpiece. Not a bad backup to Jared Allen. And, let's see what we can find now. I think there's probably a trade in here that makes sense. I don't think there's going to be something that's really going to make us that much better. Not that we really need to be that much better, but I hate to say it, I might move on from old man Love at this point. He's 35 years old. He's probably going to continue to regress. His relations is lit. I hate that, but maybe could do Rubio as well, but, we'll find something. We're going to try to trade Ricky Rubio for Jose Alvarado here, who's a little bit younger and probably a little bit better at this point. So I'd like to have him. They do not want to do that. I'm not going to throw those first-round picks into the trade, even though I technically am not supposed to have them. As I mentioned earlier, I went ahead and traded Just some other picks because I didn't really have access to these at the time, but I'm not going to throw them in the trade in order to get him. So I'll try to do all second-round picks. I'll also throw you Imani Bates if you really want him. They can't even do that. So it's just going to be second-round picks. Hopefully this can kind of go through here, and it does. Wow. 5 second-round picks, and we get a new backup point guard here to back up Darius Garland with Jose Alvarado. So I decided I'm not going to trade Kevin Love. I think I kind of want him to be a Cav for the rest of his life here, and hopefully, he can get back into contention with the team because, he's obviously won a championship back in 2016, which is one of the craziest finals I've ever seen, but, I don't know. I feel like the man deserves a second. I'm reminiscing about Kevin Love in Minnesota and, how different he was, and I think he goes, he's kind of underrated, I almost feel, as for how talented he really was in Minnesota. Obviously, they made the trade with Andrew Wiggins when he was drafted by the Cavs, when LeBron came back. But just, my God, Kevin Love in Minnesota was just such a different animal. But back to this. We have 390 overalls. We were fresh off a championship, made a couple small tweaks. We are hopefully going out for a back-to-back. I'll see you guys at the start of the third and final year. Fresh off a championship, it is the third and final season. There's no major changes with this team, just some small tweaks on the bench. And it's still a really good and really talented one. And we're hoping for a second championship in this video. It's Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. The bench unit is as follows. Karis LeVert, Kevin Love, Jose Alvarado, our new acquisition, Cedi Osman, and then Cody Zeller, our new backup center. This team's absolutely insane, and we have barely done anything to it. I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final year. We wrap up year 3. We finally do get a new MVP. It's one of the big 3 in the hypebeast trio of Luka Doncic, LaMelo Ball, and Zion Williamson. I know people have been commenting, hey, I want to see a video of the 3 of them on a team and see how many championships you can win. I still think that would be a really funny, kind of unbelievable video. So if you guys want to see it, let me know down below in the comment section. More importantly, we are a 1 seed once again for the 3rd straight season, and we are hopefully getting our 2nd championship. Ron Holland, Rookie of the Year, was drafted probably for, oh no, he fell to 8. Interesting. Rookie of the Year, congratulations. Brickleberry Simmons continues to win 6th Man of the Year. Jaren Jackson Jr., Depoy, Saban Lee, Most Improved. We go 64-18. We had 69 wins last year. I'm never going to be upset with a 64-win season. So very awesome season. Houston actually taking the 1 seed over there in the West. They win 57 games. They're a talented team. Wow, they had Fred VanVleet, Cameron Whitmore, Darius Mitchell. Oh, they added Miles Turner. All right. So, yeah, they're definitely on the come up. I would, maybe 57 wins, but nonetheless, we're very good here in ourselves. Mitchell, Garland continue to do their thing. Mobley, Allen, LeVert, Okoro, K. Love, Alvarado, Cedi Osman, and Cody Zeller round out the points per game. Rebounds was Mobley, and assists was Garland. All right, let's see what we got. It's round 1 here. It's the New York Knicks. Manu quickly, Devin Vassell. Interesting. RJ Barrett, you got Julius Randle. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. Okay, I saw them go up 2-1, and I was like, there's no fucking shot we're doing this, right? The Brooklyn Nets are a team that definitely scares me a little bit. Kyrie Irving, Cameron Thomas, Bruce Brown, KD, Drummond, Simmons, Jalen Williams. I know Bruce Brown's not actually on this team in real life, and neither is Andre Drummond, but 2 things. One, we're multiple years down the line, not that I'm saying they'll go back, but I also don't have an updated share file, as I'm sure a lot of you guys do know. Well, actually, you have an updated shared file. It's just really weird because a lot of progression issues with it. A lot of guys end up being way better than they actually are. We win at 6 in the Atlanta Hawks. I believe this is the 3rd year in a row we're facing them. Looks like they lost DeJounte Murray. Wow. They still have Cam Reddish on this. Wait, no, because Cam Reddish, that trade would have been updated. He should have been on the Knicks because that wasn't even in the offseason. So I guess he went back to Atlanta for whatever reason. We win in 5, and as I showed you guys, the Houston Rockets team. They're talented. I would say we're probably better. They might be a little bit deeper than us, but we got experience on our side now, as weird as that does sound here. We're up 2-1. We go up 3-1. I'll get a little bit of gameplay with you guys. Maybe shoot the shit a little bit about everything in this trade and the new setup, and why the fuck not at this point. This has actually been a pretty short video, I think. Yeah, I've only been recording for 35 minutes, so it's actually a really, really close game in here. We're only up by 1. We're actually tied. I'll see you guys in there. All knotted at 1:15 here in Game 5 in Cleveland. We do not have possession, unfortunately, so I'm going to try to deny ball a little bit here. See if I can get I want a little steal right there. All right, Donovan Mitchell, for once in your life, I need you to play good defense. I really do. Jalen Green is not somebody I want to play on ball against. And as you know, shots, Sengun's. Oh, why did I jump? Shit. That's my fault. I know it. I'm absolutely horrible at this game. If this is your first time watching me or you just didn't know that, yeah, I'm fucking tragically bad at this. Unfortunately, I kind of wanted this to remain a blowout just so I can kind of shoot. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing? Oh, God. What the fuck was that? What is going on right now? Get a rebound. Oh, my God. You're not letting Alperen Şengün out-rebound you. Okoro, I need you to move. Jalen Green is so fast. Donovan Mitchell, thank you. All right, cool. Back to a one-point game. 1:40 left to go here. I'll try to talk about this Cleveland team. They're absolutely, I've given you a lot of my thoughts. I'll be really interested to see kind of how the landscape of the East ultimately shakes up. Obviously, there's probably definitely some teams that are better than them. I think the Bucks better than them. The Celtics better than them. You can get into the debate of the Nets and the Heat and the Sixers. I think the Heat are probably better than them. The Heat are... I think the Heat get a little... What the fuck am I doing? I think the Heat get a little bit disrespected. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the... What the fuck? I'm not a big fan of the Heat because they are one of the rivals of my favorite team, the Celtics. But, that's a team that was a 1 seed last year. In the Eastern Conference Finals, they were Jimmy Butler 3 away from going to the finals. A team that was just in the finals in the bubble in 2020. And I feel like they get talked about like they're a team that's in like the play-in every year. Like, I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts on it. Like, they're talented. They have probably one of the best two-way players in the league in Jimmy Butler, a guy that always ups his game come playoff time. And let me tell you, it's annoying to play against a Celtics fan because, my God, is he really good. But nonetheless, I feel like people kind of just write off the Heat, and I really don't think they kind of should. I think they're a team that can definitely make a run, and they have been, shown that they're capable of making a run. But back to the Cavs. I think the Cavs are a team that definitely is going to need some experience. Why is what is this lineup? Why is Amani Bates in the game right now? Oh, I thought I got the block there. Who made that executive decision to put him in the game? I'd like to know immediately, and I'd like them to be fired. Like, is Evan Mobley, did he foul out? Right into Allen, thank you. I don't know what's going on. All right, 35 seconds left here. Yeah, I think, do we have a foul? Oh, my God, that would have been insane. I'm not going to foul because, you know what, why would... What the... No, you... Oh, no. That hurts. I don't technically need a 3, although I may want a 3. Can I just get a pick? Just give me a pick. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I want. This is going very poorly, and now I kind of need to take like a forced 3. This... Oh, God, we're going to lose this game. This is absolutely horrible. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next game, I guess. Unfortunately, we may never know if we are going to win a second championship because I got the little 2K bug where you cannot load out of a game. Yeah, please fix that for 2K23. I don't know why that's still a thing and why that's not something they haven't addressed at all. But nonetheless, I'm going to assume we probably won. What were we up? 3-1 there? And yeah, I'm just going to put it out there that we probably won another championship. So, yeah, this Cleveland team, very, very talented. Obviously, definitely still have some room to grow probably. I mean, it is a really good mix of young pieces and some veterans. Obviously, there's some experience there in the playoffs with Donovan Mitchell. That Jazz team was just never winning anything. I'm happy they blew that up for the Utah fans out there. I honestly can't believe that, like, look, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert were an insanely talented 1-2 punch, but, like, nobody ever actually thought that the Jazz were going to win a championship, right? Like, nobody actually ever sat down, thought about it, and were like, this is a contending team. Like, I hope not, because I don't think many people probably thought like that, but I'm happy they blew it up. I'm happy that they have a million draft picks and a young piece in Colin Sexton, who's probably going to average 42 points a game with that current roster. But yeah, I'm excited to watch that rebuild kind of unfold. Danny Ainge is obviously very good at what he does. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be very good at what they do because this is an insanely talented team that's going to be scary for years to come. But again, let me know any of your thoughts down below in the comment section on this current on this trade that happened between the Cavs and the Jazz. Again, I'm sorry it took me 4 or 5 days, whatever it's been, to actually make the video, but getting everything set up here was a huge pain in the ass. I had to get Wi-Fi installed. I had to get, everything ready back and hopefully somewhat normal, just a new backdrop. So hopefully everything's fine. If there's something that's not fine about the video, let me know in the comments section, please. I'd really appreciate it. Obviously, I can probably tell during editing, but if there's any little small things, let me know in the comment section. Other than that, we probably got only a couple videos left of 2K22 before we do get into another year of 2K23, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.